It's just reckless comments like those that have caused my next guest to become one of the most vocal and effective critics of the president and his left-wing agenda. Here in studio, best-selling author, world-renowned businessman, TV personality, Mr. Trump, it is an honor. It's great to have you back. How are you?
Congratulations. Beautiful studio.
Thank you.
Very nice.
You know, I thought of you when I got up this morning, and I read Drudge, and the headline is, China is lecturing us on our debt.
Right. They're laughing at us. They're not lecturing us. They know exactly what's going on. What they've done to this country is incredible. They've taken our jobs. They loan us money we're supposed to pay, and then they tell us we want that money back.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't pay it back so fast, but we want that money back. China is a major culprit. China is not our friend. And when the president of China comes over, as you know, they have these magnificent state dinners at the White House. It's very, very sad. What's going on with China is very sad. But other countries throughout the world, same thing. No matter where you go, you can look at, I can name them all. I mean, every one of them. Every country takes advantage of this country. Now, it used to be the other way around. And we would take advantage, but we had people that knew what they were doing. But every country is taking advantage of the United States.
The best-selling business books, one of them, is your first book,
Yeah.
Art of the Deal.
Probably the best.
Okay, it probably is. And I read the book, cover to cover, and I actually learned a lot reading it. But Art of the Deal, do you ever not negotiate? The president won't even talk to Boehner, won't even talk to McConnell.
Well, there's a tremendous dislike that everybody has for everybody. And that's not only the president. They dislike him. He dislikes them. You have to at least have a civil way about you. If you look at what's going on with what he says, the statements he makes, and after you hear some of these statements, it's really hard to want to negotiate with the president. There's a tremendous animus. I've never seen anything like it. And you and I have been doing this stuff a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever seen anything like it.
No, never have.
So, you know, and I tell people, you have to at least understand the other side. I don't think the president understands what's going on with the level of anger in this country, the level of hatred in this country. And I don't think he sees it.
You know, look, I think the worst possible outcome here, the Republicans made four offers. Defund, delay.
Right.
Then they said, all right, get rid of special exemptions. You would think that's a pretty reasonable offer.
Absolutely.
Then they said, okay, let's at least talk about it. President, no, 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 no. He calls Boehner at 10:45 this morning and says, I'm not going to negotiate. Then goes on national television, 6 hours later and says, I'll talk to anybody. But he won't negotiate. So he's playing a word game. How should Boehner handle this? I'm not Boehner's biggest fan, but he seems to be fighting here.
Pretty tough, and he has been hanging in pretty tough. I will say that the Republicans are in a much better position. We talk about negotiation and the art of the deal. The Republicans are in a much stronger position than anybody would know, except for one thing: they're not sticking together. You have factions that say, "Oh, we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be doing this." I mean, John McCain, who's somebody I like. He said, we can't win. How do you say we can't win and we're going into a negotiation? The fact is, if the Republicans stuck together, they will win. Now, one other thing. Obama is all about, he wants legacy. He wants to have this great reputation in 20 years and 50 years and 100 years.
Right.
They're not going to be talking about Boehner and Reid and all. They're going to be talking about President Obama and what a disaster the administration was. So he does have a lot of pressure to get this problem solved. He's got a big problem. And the debt ceiling, I'll tell you what, you tell me the Republicans don't have cards. I think they have the ultimate cards. And if they stick together and if they play it right, Obamacare, because a lot of it's about, not all of it, but a lot of it's about the disaster. I'm looking at websites that are crashing, websites that are no good. And I don't think it's because of business. I think they've had years to work on it. And the one thing I assumed was the website was going to be flawless. It was going to be great. It's a total catastrophe.
If we handed it over to you and said you had to get it up and running in 3 months, you'd get it done.
Well, they had a lot more than 3 months. And
well, they had 3 years.
Yeah, they had a lot.
And they couldn't have more scripts. All right, so the next question is, you say it's the ultimate weapon. Unfortunately, Republicans' past has shown me they don't have a backbone. I actually think their biggest fear was a government shutdown, and lo and behold, it happened, and the world didn't fall apart. If they allow this president to bully them and intimidate them and not negotiate with them, I think we'll be setting a precedent that's dangerous for the rest of our future with this guy.
Well, look, Obamacare is going to shut us down anyway. So, you know, if you think about it, it's just going to take a longer period of time. We're going to be shut down. We're going to be shut down with a lot of bad policies, and the worst of all, if you look at it, Obamacare. Because I have friends, they're closing up their businesses. Others are only hiring. They never hired a part-time person in their life. They're only hiring part-time people. One of them said, I'm taking people that have worked for me for 20 years, Donald, and I'm cutting them way down in salary, and I'm making them part-time workers. These are people with great jobs, great people. I have no choice. I'm making them part. This thing is a disaster.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for the country.
Worst president in your lifetime?
Well, I guess we always talked about Jimmy Carter, but this is coming awfully close.
Carter actually said today that the economy now is worse than when he was president.
Well, you know, this is the best thing that ever happened to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
you do know that.
I do know that. Mr. Trump, by the way, thank you. I love my Trump tie.
Aren't they great? Macy's.
These are great ties.
Go get them at Macy's.
I wear them every night. All right. Good to see you.